Hey guys, want to come on here and talk about something that I recently found out with the announcement that a bunch of talent from NXT UK, most notably Trent Seven, Mark Andrews, and Andrews' tag partner, Flash Morgan Webster, there it is. Those are the three highlight ones I always heard about, have been released from NXT UK, and NXT UK itself is stopping and going to be rebranded in 2023 as NXT Europe. What the fuck the difference is? Maybe this will be the return of the European title. My problem is not that though. It's gonna be sad, but my problem is with this. People, and this has been a problem with me for a long time. People complain that every time WWE releases superstars, some of them on a good chunk of them appear on AEW. This is the thing. I both get it and I get mad at it. I understand it because, yes, AEW, that was debuted as a new company with new stars, brings in a good amount of ex-WWE talent. Understandable. You want to see the new guys. You want to see these new stars for wrestling. You don't just want to see the guys who are fired from WWE. But on the other hand, you gotta think, these are pro wrestlers. Pro wrestling is how they make a living. When they're released from a company, it's not that shocking that they're going to go to another company to wrestle. And with AEW being the hottest wrestling company, and the one that they can still get a good shot at getting seen the biggest chance on, even if it's on a match on Rampage, Elevation, and Dark. Yes, people will make fun of Elevation and Dark, but they still will be viewed. People will still watch them. They're still appearing and still making money. I never understand. What do you want them to do? Yes, they could. People could say, oh, they can go to Impact or somehow get enough money to go to New Japan or a bunch of other indies. That's the thing. There are a bunch of independent wrestling companies, but when it comes to it, making money, you want to be on a company where you get one of the bigger companies that has a bigger budget, like AEW or WWE. Impact's another good idea, but they don't have a TV deal. AEW has a TV deal where even if it's one match on Dynamite, you still will get TV time. And there's another thing I want to talk about with AEW. I will always admit and agree that AEW has a oversaturated roster. That's why they have so many shows. And so many people complain, oh, finally this person's getting TV time and this person's getting TV time. You have to think, with how much talent that's under AEW contracts, they have to do a lot to think who should get TV time, what rivalries can be birthed with TV time, and who can work with TV time. That's why I've always said, kind of like how people have said AEW is the new WCW. So let's put in this perspective. WCW Monday Nitro is Dynamite. AEW Dark is, let's say, WCW Main Event. And let's just use WCW. Let's say Rampage. Let's go to that one. WCW Rampage is WCW Thunder. And using non-WCW shows, let's say Dark is Velocity, if you remember that show. And then we have Elevation, which can be classified as their equivalent to Main Event. It's the reason they have so many shows. And even with Tony Khan purchasing Ring of Honor, eventually I'm positive that's going to become Ring of Honor Television again with the weekly show. So that's another show for certain stars to show up on. Yes, it's an oversaturated roster where I remember when, let me grab it real quick. People complained about the match for this championship at Death Before Dishonor, I believe it was, with Jonathan Gresham losing to Claudio Castagnoli, saying, oh, he just lost to the billionaire's newest toy. I will never deny that Jonathan Gresham is one of the best Ring of Honor World Champions of this era. He defended this title everywhere, most notably in Impact when Honor No More was coming into fray. But also, let's think about this. Claudio Castagnoli is a perfect guy to represent Ring of Honor. Not disrespecting Jonathan Gresham at all, he's one of the best, if not the best, technical wrestler of all time today. But also with Claudio Castagnoli, he does not just combat, as we know from WWE, his time there. That bugs me. Claudio Castagnoli does not just have great technical wrestling prowess. The guy can fly, the guy can tap you out, and the guy can overpower you. That's a great choice to represent a company like Ring of Honor. He's a perfect hybrid technical wrestler. Speaking of that, I just want to talk about another thing I want to talk about with this is the rivalry with, and I still call it a rivalry, between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Pro wrestling versus sports entertainment. The Blackpool Combat Club truly is my favorite faction in wrestling today. I mean, let's look at this. There's a good chance they'll be controlling the undisputed AEW Championship next week with Moxley versus Punk for the undisputed title. They have the ROH Championship with Claudio Castagnoli. And even then, with just a quick thing, people have been wanting Claudio to win a world championship for fucking years. There's your world title, people. This is what he got. The Ring of Honor World Championship. A title that shows you the best wrestler. Not the best gimmick, like Roman Reigns. To anyone also who still says Roman Reigns is the best wrestler today, he is not. Roman Reigns is not the best wrestler today. He's one of the best gimmicks, not wrestlers. Again, this is my opinion, okay? You can't. I'm expecting so many people to say, "Oh no, you're wrong. You're wrong." I'm not wrong, and neither are you. It's an opinion. I have an opinion. I don't agree with the freaking hive mind, man. He's not the best wrestler. I don't know, really, who could be classified as the best wrestler? People have said Seth Rollins. People say Roman Reigns. People will say Jonathan Gresham for people who watch stuff outside of the WWE. Some people have said Jay Lethal. I personally don't have one who says it's the best of the best. And if we're doing that, personally, someone I'd like to throw in the cap for being the best wrestler today is Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, the current Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. That is, if he doesn't lose his title to Alex Shelley at the pay-per-view. Anyway, off topic. Yeah, I just want to say that real fast about Roman, because I remember me saying, this is just truly my opinion. When you're reaching over 700 days as the undisputed champion, and more often than that, you're not on the show, you're not at work, I have no respect. To me, it diminishes the title. Like, okay, listen, so anyone who does watch Ring of Honor, one of the best Ring of Honor world champions is Jay Lethal. That's a fact. He was the longest reigning world champion. He's one of the longest reigning world champions. I'm positive Rush has beaten him by now. I think Rush beat him in his reign. Jay Lethal showed up weekly on ROH, would weekly defend the Ring of Honor World Championship, while also defending the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I'm positive people will say, "Oh, but that's Ring of Honor. That's not WWE." I don't care. Okay. I'm now getting truly more terrified because it truly looks like WWE want Roman Reigns to break Bruno Sammartino's record reign as over 1,000 days as champion. That can't happen, okay? I don't care how far you have your head up Roman Reigns' ass, and that's the fans, not corporate. A man should never hold a world championship for 1,000 days modernly. Different era back then. There was the territories, or you were truly an independent contractor. As a wrestler, you could show up to the NWA one week, show up to AWA the next week, They'd show up the fucking FCW, ICW, GCW, any territory, man. With one guy not showing up for work, and I know people are gonna say, oh, but he's spending time with his family. The guy beat cancer twice. And I respect Joe. Okay? I'm gonna say that right now. I respect Joe for beating the toughest opponent any man or woman or, God forbid, any child could ever fight. And that is cancer. I respect Joe for beating that son of a bitch twice. Most people can't even beat it once. For him to beat it twice, I respect. Roman Reigns, however, I don't respect him as champion for constantly doing nothing as champion. He is Brock Lesnar. Reigning, man. I remember someone said, oh, but him not showing there means more prestige to the championship because it means something to fight for. I remember someone said to me, oh, you just want something to go back to the Attitude Era. History fact, I started watching pro wrestling in 2011. The first WWE champion I saw was John Cena. The first match I saw him in was Raw Roulette 2011, where he lost a tables match to R-Truth because of a distraction from CM Punk. It was the Monday Night Raw before Money in the Bank, where CM Punk beat him for the WWE Championship, and then they held the tournament to crown a new WWE champion, which was won by Rey Mysterio, later dropped the title to John Cena. John Cena was truly the first WWE champion I ever saw. And even then, he defended that title monthly until he lost it to CM Punk, who then lost it to Alberto Del Rio. And even then, as a heel, Alberto defended the title. And that's my thing. If you're the world champion, you should have more pressure on yourself than any other champion. To defend, to show up, to represent your company, to represent the brand, to represent the belt that you hold. That's why I will forever say the Ring of Honor World Championship. Hell, the fucking FTW Championship has more prestige today than the undisputed WWE Championship. What was the mother topic I was talking about before this? Right, pro wrestling versus sports entertainment, Blackpool Combat Club. Again, these all start with one straight topic that I plan to do, then it just turns right into a wrestling rant. The Blackpool Combat Club need to always beat the Jericho Appreciation Society. Maybe the Jericho Appreciation Society can beat them a few times, but the pro wrestlers need to beat the sports entertainers. I mean, the pro wrestler might be grabbing a sports entertainer from sports entertainment. You saw Quake at the Lake, saw the great 2 out of 3 falls match between Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. Hinting also at the end where Daniel Garcia might be leaving the JAS and joining the Blackpool Combat Club. I think that'd be awesome. He fits perfectly in this with how much I've seen him wrestle. I also truly believe that the Blackpool Combat Club need to find 2 female members to counteract those sluts, Anna JAS and Ty Cunty. And I say this again I say it because of this. Apparently, if you're a female sports entertainer in this goddamn faction, you have to dress like you're a $2 Vegas slut. Again, this is no disrespect to the actual women. This is disrespect. This is me insulting the people they portray. I feel like I have to constantly say that when I say this crap. And also something with Ty Conti. I remember so many people were crapping on her and Sammy now that they've gotten married, saying that they got it too fast or that they hate him because Sammy dumped his ex-fiancée to be with her. Part of me just thinks this is just Ty Conti simps hating Sammy because he's banging her. The one thing I will never forgive those two for doing is having sex, but also by using the AEW TNT Championship as like a toy, or having Ty Conti pose naked with that damn thing. That's Paige NXT Women's Championship levels of disrespect to the belt. If you know what that means, good for you, and sad for you because you know what I'm talking about. Also, this is just a question. What was the amount of time when you started to turn on Sammy Guevara? Because even with his feud with Scorpio Sky, I was still pulling for Sammy a few times. But when was the true moment that you started to hate Sammy Guevara? What was the match? When was the exact moment you hated him? Because I remember when he beat Miro for the TNT Championship, people were crazy excited for it, man. Maybe it was the match with Cody. Maybe. Because a lot of people don't usually turn on other wrestlers after Cody stuff. I don't know. There's a guy I hope. Maybe they're just saving until Cody comes back. Then it's a perfect guy to take the belt off of Roman Reigns. God, I hope so. I'm sick of seeing Roman. Actually, I can't say it. I'm sick of seeing Roman Reigns because I never fucking see him. I pray Drew McIntyre takes it. I pray that Drew McIntyre takes it off him. Also, I wonder how long it's gonna take before WWE create like one single title. They're gonna just keep having Roman hold both the two titles. I don't know. Also, even with Theory being Money in the Bank, we can all agree that he's not winning that belt, right? He can cash that sucker in, he'll still lose. Anyway, this went all sorts of bullshit. I'm sorry, but again, you should be used to this by now. Yeah, this was a wrestling rant. Later.